Welcome everybody to the VDM. I'm so excited to have you all here. My name is Emma Shubin. Me, along with my colleagues, Stephen Neely and Veronica Bolevsky, we host these wonderful virtual Dalcroze meetups. This is meetup number 57. And we are here today to do a little remembering of our teachers. But first, we always like to do a little breakout room to introduce ourselves. I don't usually have to do this part of things, so you'll bear with me here for a moment while I get that set up. Looks like we've got 9 of us, so I'll put like 3 to a room. Usually say who you are, where you're from, who you teach, and then I'll bring you guys back. We do it pretty quickly, so you don't have too much time to linger, but enough time to wish you knew just a little bit more about each other. And let me see. We'll do. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready? And then you'll come back in a couple minutes, and as people come in, I'll send them out your way. So here we go. Good luck, everyone. See you in a few moments. You should be getting something right now, I hope. Welcome back.
Still chatting in other rooms.
They're coming back, don't worry. So Giovanna, who do you have there with you?
She's Giuseppina Mastrorilli.
Giuseppina, it's very good to meet you. I'm Emma. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
We are still in school where we teach it in a music school in the afternoon. And then so we decided to connect it together tonight, this evening.
Wonderful. So running back and forth. Hi, everyone. I hope you had enough time, but not too much time, to say hello to everybody and learn a little bit about each other. It's one of my favorite things about the VDM is that we get to create a little community here together. And I'm just going to put one more time our agenda in the chat so that you guys can click there if you would like to see kind of the order of events for this afternoon. So a few little bit of announcements. We have an upcoming masterclass this weekend coming up with Cynthia Lilly. And we're just so excited to have her. You don't want to miss Cynthia. It's on April 22nd or April 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. She's going to be doing a little class on a journey through Brahms's variations on a theme by Haydn. And then after that, we'll have Kai Liu, which you also will not want to miss. Then we have a short course coming up on Latin American music taught by Elda, who's come and done some things with us before. You definitely don't want to miss an opportunity either. She's absolutely lovely. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. I'll put this one more time in the chat. Here's our agenda. Boom. So I'm flying solo today, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't do things in the proper order. As my colleagues and I always are working together, we catch each other. So hopefully I will not have missed anything by the end. But I'm very excited that we're here today to do a special class on lessons from our teachers. We're doing a series of these throughout this next while for VDM. And today we're going to be honoring the lessons and legacy of Louisa Bisegni. I hope I didn't terribly pronounce her name. And so Louisa's students are here today, and they're going to be sharing stories, activities, and memories, as well as some of the lessons they've learned along the way of this amazing, inspiring, legendary woman in our field. So I'm very excited. And so today I know we're going to be starting with Isa, and I do have some videos to share, and I'm just not sure, Isa, if you want me to start with a video or if you had a few things you wanted to say, or Christine, I know you're helping us kind of keep the whole ship.
No, you're starting with me. Isa's still in the car.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Beautiful. So I'm going to, without further ado, turn this over to Christine. We each will have a few minutes, but we have a little bit of a different structure today so that we can accommodate listening to everybody and hearing all the different things to be shared. So thank you all. Okay. Hey, Anthony. All right, it's all you, Christine.
Okay, all right, I'm just going to try to give a short introduction. I always talk too much. I'll try not to. So Luisa Di Segni Jaffe, she was the honorary president of the Italian Dalcroze Association for many years. I first met her, I think it was about 8 years ago, and she passed away in 2019. I knew her much less than the other presenters here. One of them, you'll see, Giovanna, has known her since she was 2 years old, actually. And but she made a really profound impression on me. I won't tell a lot about her history. You can read about that in other places, but she was born in Switzerland. She got her license in London, and then she went back to Geneva for the diploma. I'm not sure when she first came to Italy, if it was in the 60s or the 70s. I think it was probably in the 60s, and it was many, many years ago. And just to give you an idea of, Dalcroze was virtually unknown then, as were really any active methods at all. And I just wanted to give you one quote from her, and this is from 2011. So you can imagine what she found many years ago. In 2011, in an interview, she says, I quote, "Generally speaking, musical studies in Italy are similar to the situation Jacques Dalcroze found more than a century ago in the Geneva Conservatory." Okay, and that was in 2011. So you can imagine what she found in the 60s and the 70s. So she was instrumental in bringing Dalcroze to Italy, and the training of many teachers, and the inspiration for more than one generation. And things are changing now. I don't want you to get the impression that Italy is so backwards now. It's changing, I think, still kind of slowly, but it is. And they have there are Dalcroze eurythmics courses in I don't know if in many, but in quite a few conservatories. For example, in the conservatory in Rome, where that Isa, one of our presenters, teaches. So I first met Luisa at a seminar. I had already gotten my certificate in Orff, and I was studying Kodai, and I'd heard of Dalcroze. I just knew it was music and movement, and I thought it was folk dance or something. I didn't know what it was. And Isa was not at all what I expected, for someone who's going to teach you to dance. I mean, she was very elderly then and very frail looking. And I thought, wow, she's going to teach us to dance. And she just said, "Everybody walk." And I said, "What?" So everybody walked, and then after a while, she started to follow it on the piano. And I realized, I know this is a normal Dalcroze activity, so it's not that it was anything unusual, but I don't know, somehow it was at the right time in my life to hear it, or it was the way that she said it, the way that she did it. But it was like this light turned on in me, and I literally almost burst into tears. And it completely changed my life just then. And there's so much I could tell you about just that first lesson with her, and there isn't time, so I won't. But she was instrumental in encouraging me to do the training in spite of the many doubts I had in my abilities. And she was so happy when she found out that I decided to do it. And when I did get my certificate, I got it just shortly after she died. And I wish so much that I could have told her that I did it. But I wanted to tell you just very quickly, just a couple of activities. Just one really show you. I don't know if anybody got the potato chip can. Did any of you get it? That was written on there? No. Okay. Well, I don't think it will work on online anyway. But she used a lot of. We'll tell you about too. And in this first lesson, she had this potato chip can. And probably doesn't work online. You probably can't hear it anyway, but there's 3 different sounds on the top, on the side, and on the bottom. And so she had us make up, she even said to keep the paper inside because it makes a better sound, and what brand to get. But she had us make up patterns with these 3 different sounds. And then so you could use 1 or 2 or 3 of them, and not thinking so much of the rhythm, not as you would think more in Orff, like making some kind of rhythm with it, but just the sound, the timbre of it. And then we would turn our backs, and each one would make up a pattern using 1 or 2 or 3 sounds, and we had to guess what it was. And anyway, that's just one example of many uses that she made of objects. And the other thing, briefly, I just want to say that my first experience in piano improvisation, when I started to do the training, Louisa wasn't one of our regular teachers. She was quite frail at the time, but she came just once, I think. And she showed up with this sweater on. Emma, could you show that photo now of the this sweater that Louisa was wearing? That we just thought, you know, how cool this is, but we didn't really suspect what this was for, you know. And then she did some other activities, and she had us go to the piano, and she said, okay, choose one of these or more of these designs and play them. And we just kind of went, what? And you know, I particularly was very intimidated by improvisation, and some of the others were too, but she was just so encouraging and so enthusiastic about every just tiny little clumsy tentative to play. I mean, everything was great with her. And I just wanted to say that she's, you know, for improvisation, she has encouraged so many people. She's written articles on them. She has a very interesting article about improvisation and how to make it simple, and or at least to make it feasible. If someday you guys want, I could translate it for you. And to conclude, I just wanted you to hear then a video of one of our colleagues, Laura Di Polito, made playing Isa's sweater.
So beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. And so now Giovanna Martinelli would like to share her experiences. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. I'm Giovanna Martinelli, and I consider myself a very lucky person because I met Luisa Di Segni when I was only two. Because Luisa Di Segni used to teach in my nursery school, and I used to go there, and she was my music teacher, which is, it's amazing from that time. First, having a music teacher in a nursery school, and second, having her as a music teacher, because she, of course, she was an amazing music teacher, and I was lucky because then after the school, my mother decided to take us all, my brothers and sister, to have private lesson with her. So basically, I've grown up with her musically. So I've been studying music through the cross method for all my life. So till I started teaching music, and I went to I took her place in the school where I met her. So it's like a circle. And for me, it's the only experience that I had for music training. And so what I usually say is I teach the cross because this is the only thing I can do, because this is the only way I can do it, because I've been absorbing the cross method with Luisa, and I've grown up with this method. So I consider myself very, very lucky. So Luisa was a kind of a second mother for me, because my life from 2 years old to 18 was with her for twice a week, because I've done Eurythmics with her, and also I started also studying piano with her. Not in a classical, not in the classic way, but in Luisa Di Segni's way, which is improvisation and hearing the music, listen to the music, try to find a way to play different music, and also absorbing all the experience of Luisa. So I consider my life in the musical training was very, very lucky. And I want to underline something that Christine said about Luisa's ability to encourage all her students to find their own way to improvise with everything. She used to come at lesson not only with chips box, but also with a lot of different things, and encourage you and stimulate you to do something. What she used to say is, do it, just do it. Even if you were stopping and wondering, what can I do with this? And she said, do it, go, 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 always. And without thinking, was the amazing thing that she, the way she used to teach. And I want to share with you a video when you can see me as a child. And this is a video from the 80s. And it's a TV program from Rai. And Scuola Musica Educazione was something like this. And I must confess, she didn't like very much these videos because they're not very natural, but it was a program. So, but you can see in this video how can she could encourage us, so me and my mates, to improvise with any kind of objects. You will see. So if you can play it, Emma.
And then Giovanna, do you want the whole thing or just part of it?
Let's see. I mean, do we have time to see this? 6 minutes?
I
Do we
think
have
that
time to
we
see that?
might, but maybe not,
Okay.
Christine,
I
because
think it's quite interesting.
so we'll go for about 3 and then we'll see how we're doing for time. Does that
Okay.
sound good? Okay.
Facciamo ora improvvisazioni su oggetti, cioè che ritmo può venire fuori da un oggetto. Allora abbiamo un percorso qui di cerchi, voi fate l'andata, poi guardate e al ritorno sonorizziamo con questi bottiglioni. Dino, vuoi provare tu? Carlotta. Torna, sì? Tornata? Alessandra? Adesso voi mi raccogliete i cerchi e me li date ognuno alla sua maniera e voi vi preparate per le palle canguro. Carlotta, hai un'idea di come portarmelo? Donata? Sì? Alessandra? Dino? Tocca a voi. Allora, Edoardo, vuoi cominciare tu? Cosa puoi fare col canguro? Vieni qua. Margherita. Silvia. Giovanna. Adesso prendiamo i bottiglioni.
Totally amazing. We
Okay,
have enough
so
time, we'll finish it at the end, I promise.
okay, you could see how was, I mean, improvising with everything. And also we were talking with the Giuseppina that even anything you were using in the lesson, you have to bring it back in a way. So, and she told me, and everything, it's all the lesson, even if you give something to a kid and then do something and you bring it to me in your own way, and then you have your lesson. Easy. Okay, I think I thank you.
Thank you so much. We are really very grateful. So let me,
Okay, Isa
I
or
believe-
Guido?
Guido.
Guido.
Okay, after Christine and Giovanna's words and video, I think it's clear that here in Italy we had an incredible opportunity to study, work, simply be with someone that was very, very special. I'm Guido Gavazzi, and thanks for this opportunity, because it's really a pleasure for me to talk about Luisa. She has fundamentally changed my relationship with music, and in particular with teaching. I met Luisa when I was already an adult. I wasn't so lucky as Giovanna. And Luisa was an elegant woman, I think in maybe her 60s. Teen, always with a smile, but also with an inner strength that you could feel. And of course, a big passion for teaching and Del Cross. It's very difficult to talk in few minutes about a person you have known for many years and who has influenced your life in such an important way. So I thought I'd just tell you about two aspects of Luisa. The first one was what I called and then. This was because Luisa had the ability to start a lesson with very, very little. It could be an object, we talk later about this. It could be a jar, a can, a sheet of paper, or simply with a movement. And with that, she would build an incredible lesson, full of activities that were always similar, but different. Activities that included rhythm, solfa, and improvisation, all together, but with different accents. She suggested one activity, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then another, always with the first object. All this without ever finishing. After a while, she would ask to propose something, and we try. But after a while, when we had run out of ideas, she would take our suggestion and start again for hours, all days. Then when we were tired, sure that there was no chance of inventing something different, typically she would say, what if we did the same movement in 2 or 3 people? And it started again without end. It was very incredible. Incredible for me because I have a background completely different, academic, and to start with a jar and work all day with the rhythm, solfa, improvisation was completely new. The second aspect I'd like to talk about is different and doesn't only concern Luisa as a teacher, but more specifically as a person. She was very, very generous as a person and as a teacher. And this is not very common. I will try to explain better. It was not strange that after becoming Dal Croce teacher, we received a phone call from Luisa. Sorry, Guido, someone called me for a workshop, but I'm too tired. And then I think you would be the right man for that group. Would you like that? And that's not just with me. She could have called another one because she had a particular feeling for music therapy, or another one because she was more, I don't know, academic, or just, I think it's better if you go. And so for many of us, you can well understand how this attitude of her was very unusual. Many teachers are jealous of their work and hardly leave room for others. But Luisa was completely different, completely. In my opinion, she was first and foremost simply generous. But then there was also something else. She was also very deep, completely concentrated about spreading Dal Croce. So probably sending her students around, knowing that we could ask for advice before and after our workshops, gave her the peace of mind that after all, one day, perhaps even without her fantastic personality, we would still be able to continue spreading Dal Croce. So now it's our turn, and I hope we will not disappoint Lisa. Thank you for listening. I finish. I think that now, thanks. I think that now we could have another better idea of what she could do with the example that now Isa will show us. Thanks.
I hope
You go.
that I can
Sure.
explain a little bit what Luisa did with an object very strange. Emma, how many minutes I have?
We usually say 5, but you know, a little bit more is okay, no problem.
It's very, very short time. Okay,
If
let's
that's
try.
time to do some talking back, and then I'm sure we'll revisit some things and there's more space. for us
Okay, let's try to.
Excuse me, Emma, I told Veronica that Isa would be a bit longer, that she'd be about 10, because she's going to try to do an activity with us.
Okay, great.
Okay. My English is
So,
very
if we can.
slow. I'm very, very sorry. Okay. I met Luisa in 1994 when I was 28, and I loved her creativity, her capacity to show that we could find music everywhere, in everything, all around us, in space, in places very strange. where usually the music we didn't see and didn't find. It was very usual in her teaching that she used recycle objects as bottles or cans or cardboard tubes. But for her, they were tools to become more conscious of space and of the relationship between the space and the time. Tonight, I'd like to tell you the main points of one of the lessons that I found very, very amazing the first time she gave us. Maybe we could to be students together. Could you make movements with me? What do you think? It is possible. Okay. So let's try to do linear movements with your body. Could you stand up, please? And put vocal sounds. And could you turn on the microphones so that we can listen to each other? Please. Thank you very much.
It is not going to be synchronized, but anyway.
No. It don't. We don't know. We don't want to this in this time, please.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. And now try to do something more curved.
Okay.
And now we can mix them. Thank you. And now another thing. Let's do 6 little pulsations in different directions. Chum chum chin chum chin. Bum bim bum bum bum. You bum bim bum bum. And make vocal sounds even here. Back now. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And now turn off your microphones because I ask you to do it with the piano, my piano. Okay, follow my piano. Thank you very much. I look at you and try to play the 6 little pulsations.
Luisa, non sentiamo.
No?
We can't hear anything.
Oh,
Put the original sound.
Yes,
Oh,
so
yes.
Lisa, just check your original sound and we should be good to go.
yes, 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 yes. Is it okay?
It sounds like it's on now. Thank you.
Yes, and now try to follow my left hand with your feet and go in your room and add the hands who follow my right hand when she will arrive. And switch. Switch. Thank you. And now it's time to take this egg carton, okay?
Look at Teo! Yes, ce n'è uno da-
Too many eggs. Yes, it is.
This is the American size.
I brought enough for the whole class.
Thank you. Actually, we need this kind of egg carton. So if you don't have it, let's imagine and touch every of these little points and make a vocal sound in which and try to change the direction and follow me with your voice and your hand in an imaginary. Yes, Guido, you have the carton, but I don't know if the American people or Françoise. Ciao, Françoise. You don't have it. Okay. Chum tam pam pim pam pam pim pam 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 pam. Change tum pam pim pam 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 tum pa ta ti da ta ta. Try change tim pa da di da yam pam pam ti da 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 pam pam. Change ti da tam pam pam. Stop. And now let's try to group with the feet every 2 or every 3 independent from the direction of the questa cosa qui come si chiama? The carton. Sorry.
Xbox.
Yes. Allora, egg box. Are you ready with your feet? Yes, thank you, Greece, and thank you, everyone. And we are going to group every 3. Yam ta tim pam tararira yam ta ta tira yam. Change tiraram pam pam tam pam tira-ra-ta, tira-ta-ta, tam. So we are going through a more deep consciousness, awareness of the difference in 2 meters. Let's go without this or with this in one hand, and try to follow the piano and attention to the changes. Let's begin grouping every 3. Did you change? And the rest of the lesson was that she asked us about our impressions, our impressions about the differences between the 2 meters 6/8 and 3/4, about the space, the direction, and
The feeling.
it was very curious to find the link between the beginning of the lesson about the linear or curved movements and 3, 4, and 6/8, and it was very interesting the use of this object to realize that the 6 little points have the same value, but the different way of grouping makes a big change in the character of the 2 measures. And the end of the lesson was usually that we were in a big circle, and we were divided in 3 groups. The A group did the 6/8, group A did an accent every 2, and the C group made an accent every 3. So we could listen 2 against 3 in a very natural way, and it was very fascinating to me. I think that all the Dalcrozian community in Italy was very fascinated by this game of Luisa. And when she was 80, we organized a big party, a big celebration, and we non so come si dice, gave
We gave her as a
gave-
gift, as a present.
gave her a gift that was a silver, come si dice?
You can see it in a
pendant.
picture, actually, Luisa,
Yes,
Isa, because
in
we
the-
saw
in
it.
the
And if you, Emma, if you put again a picture of her with a jumper that you shared with us at the beginning, she actually she's wearing the gift that we gave her. It's a sort of necklace with the shape of the egg box.
Yes. Yes, and we gave her this little gift, playing and moving 6, 8, and 3, 4, and she was very, very surprised and very happy to receive this gift from us, from all of us. It was a summer course, unbelievable.
So
Thank you very
beautiful
much.
to get to hear.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so much, Isa, and everybody for sharing all these amazing memories. We've done it again. We're here at 10 minutes before the end of our time together. So I wanted to leave some space for questions. And if there's anything else that I'm forgetting to share, or Christine will help me be on track here. But please, if there's any questions, now is a good time. And then that'll give opportunities to share more. Thank you all. This is beautiful and very fascinating to hear from other master teachers. Yes, Francoise, please.
Yes, thank you very much. It's really nice to see Luisa again and to see what she did in Italy. It's very interesting for us to know how important she was in this whole development of Dalcroze method. I would like to see the end of the video if it was possible.
I would too.
Just
Does that
watching
agree
those
with
children.
everybody? I am here as well, but are there any other questions before we go there? Okay, let's do it. We have time. Give me a moment. It always takes a second here. I apologize. I thought I had it pulled up, but we shall see. One moment. While I'm doing that, does anyone else have anything they'd like to ask or share? Please feel free, especially as I awkwardly get my way back there. Hang on one moment.
Well, I was really amazed how Luisa could improvise with the same chord progression for several totally different rhythms, and how she could just observe once, and then the second time she was right away with the children, which is such a beautiful feeling for the child to feel recognized and listened to and watched. So it's really beautiful, and she doesn't change so much at the piano, but she changes the rhythm, and that's really amazing. I loved seeing that.
I just have to say how amazed I was at that tiny little girl, the things that she made up. That was, I've never seen a little girl do something like that before. That was really incredible.
Amore.
Well, and just so remarkable the amount of facility she had for such a very young age. She was very specific and very precise. And so here we are. We left off with the little bouncing balls. I've shared some sound. We'll see the end of this, and then we'll go to the next thing.
Ecco, this is me.
Adesso prendiamo i bottiglioni. E vediamo cosa viene fuori dai bottiglioni. Margherita. Carlotta.
Boing. 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 Boing.
Donata,
Bum, 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 bum.
Margherita.
Bum. Da, da, da.
È più tondo, anche il sonoro.
Da, da, da,
Dino?
da. Fish, bum. Fish, bum. Fish, bum.
Alessandra. Giovanna. Edoardo. Abbiamo fatto tutti? Silvia.
Vabbè.
Allora, tutti insieme e poi smettiamo piano piano. Piano. E lentamente smettiamo.
Amazing. Thank you so very much to everybody for today. Yes, Francoise, please.
Yes, I just wanted to add before also that those children have many ideas because they are always asked to do things. And I think they develop such a confidence in their own creativity because everything seems interesting in Luisa's eyes. And there is a lot of openness and of respect and of how do you say, stimulation, you know, so those children, there are not two children who do the same. They all have their own ideas, and I'm sure that it comes from this habit of Luisa just to open up all kinds of fields of creativity. It's a very nice lesson for any teacher, I think. Thank you.
Could not agree more, Francoise. I already am excited to take some of these ideas to my own world. We have one more minute if there's any other comments.
I just want to add that this video will be soon available in our YouTube channel because we want to upload it, but I have to do the subtitle in English, so it's going to be a longer work. And that's all. And yes, I want to say it again, this was a TV program, so wasn't an improvisation just there. And I mean, it was a little bit organized, of course, but as you said, Francoise, we were very well trained because we used to work with Luisa twice a week, so doing all this kind of stuff with any different kind of material. And for her, everything was always meraviglioso. She used to say meraviglioso on anything we used to do. So you're right. She was always encouraging us and stimulate us to do and do and do and do, because everything was fine. Everything was good with her.
Rita, did you have something to add? I saw that you.
No, I was just thinking that this video was in television maybe 50 years ago.
In the 1995.
I know idea the other teachers, when they see what Luisa was doing, their thoughts.
Giovanna,
Yes.
I did have a little question for you as being one of her students. In those 2 times that you would see her, was one class more focused on improvisation while another class was focused in a different area? Or was it all kind of you exploring this whole world of?
But I mean, the lesson were very fluent. They, as Guido was saying, as Isa was saying, she started from a little thing, and in the lesson she used to include everything: solfa, improvisation, movement, everything was merged together. So you
Pedagogy.
yeah, exactly. We didn't you couldn't realize what you were doing. You were just
Oh.
doing something, and then yes, you understood the music.
Well, I cannot believe we are here, friends, but we're at the top of the hour. This has been amazing, especially for those of us who may not have known her teaching. We are so grateful to our friends from Italy for coming and sharing this beautiful work with us and this memory. It's so important, and this is how we continue this tradition and learning from each other. And it's a big reason why we wanted to create this virtual Dalcroze meetup space. And so I just wanted to say, we have masterclasses coming up. We have our free and please welcoming to all our meetups that we have every other week. If anyone ever needs assistance or help to make it to one of our masterclasses, that's where Integral Steps comes in, which is the nonprofit that I help run. And we are always here to support. We've never turned a friend away. And we want new people in these rooms. And we are just so proud and grateful to have such an amazing community. So I just wanted to say thank you all. And I hope that you have a good night or an afternoon, wherever you're coming from. And thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you so much.
A tutti, sì.
Thank
Ciao,
you,
friends.
ciao. A
Goodbye,
presto.
everyone. Goodbye, a presto. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao,